Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I am testing out a new microphone today, so I've got it clipped to me. So we will see how it goes today. So, let me know how it sounds and everything, and if I need to adjust it, I can try to see where it sounds best. I'm playing music as well in the background, so I have no idea if y'all can hear that or not, or if you can't hear me talking. So yeah, just let me know in the chat if there is an issue. And while you guys are joining in, feel free to say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, some fun stuff you did over the weekend. But today I got this new kit, so I'm really excited about this. So I actually reached out to the woman who makes these. So her name's Marina. And she has an Etsy shop to make moss wall art. And I've always wanted to make moss wall art. And so figured getting a kit would be perfect. So I've linked to the one that I happen to be using in the description. And then also I just pinned it in the chat. So you can look into it if it's something you want to do. And I mean, bear in mind, you don't need like a specific kit to make moss wall art, like by any means. I just wanted a kit because it makes it easy. Like if I'm starting a new craft, I always just get the kit version because it gives you like the basic supplies and you can test to see if you like the activity or not at a lower cost. So I'm a big fan of kits. That's why I love also just doing the kits on live, is it makes it easy for you guys to get started as well. So here is the kit. So I got the little one, and I think this one comes to like $30 USD. So here's what it comes with. So it has the instructions over here. Let me pull these over. So it has some basic instructions for like how to care for it. And basically there's no like care or maintenance involved. So all of this, whenever you're making a moss wall, and specifically, I mean, we're doing it with preserved moss. So that's the idea, is that it is all dried moss. So it's not living. I know there are like living moss pieces that you can also make, and that's like a whole other thing that I also want to do, is like make a living wall, because I think that would be so cool. But that would actually require a lot of maintenance, and you need to water it and make sure there's humidity around it. But this, we're keeping it simple and doing dried moss so that you don't have to worry about watering it or anything. I think like at most you like dust it every now and then if you need to, if it like gets covered in dust. But really the only like care that's necessary is to make sure it's not hitting a bunch of sunlight, because the sunlight will like bleach the colors out of the moss, because these are all dyed moss and lichen, so then like flowers as well, so that it's a little more vibrant. So yeah, that's all that's really necessary, and this sort of like breaks this down for all of the care instructions. But here are the actual instructions for what to do. So it has like what's included, and I'll go through that in a second. But as you can see, like it's pretty straightforward. Like it's not like making moss wall art is super complicated. And again, this is the first time I'm going to be doing this, so figured y'all could like hang out with me and help me make this and like give ideas for where to put stuff. So definitely like in the chat, let me know if you have a specific idea that I can incorporate into the piece. But basically the idea is that you have the board or the frame. So in this case, we are using a picture frame. So this is a 5x7 frame, so you can see here. So literally a picture frame. So like get something from the dollar store, like if you're making it from scratch, like dollar store picture frame. This one's pretty. I requested specifically a black frame because I thought that would be really nice. So this is what we're going to put everything into. And then this also came with the moss. So you get to request what type of moss you get. So I asked Marina to send me some green and some pink, because she has a bunch of examples on her listings. So again, she has her store on Etsy. Check it out. It's in the description. It's linked in the chat. And actually I can pin it. Let me go ahead and pin this specific kit that I have. There we go. So that's the kit that I'm using, and you'll see, so you get to choose the color of moss that you want to use. So I chose the green and pink because she has a whole bunch of examples in the one with the pink accents. Like, I was completely drawn to that because obviously, like, one of my favorite colors is pink, or like a magenta color, so I was naturally drawn to that one and figured I'd want to try and recreate a similar color scheme. So we have our moss here, and you can see it's like different kinds of moss. Like, we've got some, I don't know specific moss names, but some like different textures and different types of moss. And then in the pink and purple packet of moss, we also have some fun dried flowers and other plants in there. And then this kit also comes with some gloves and then some glue. So simple enough. And I am going to move this out of the way. And yeah, I mean, if you're making it yourself, you can also find just dried moss on Etsy as well. So there are like, that's typically like where I get most of my materials, like one-off stuff. So like dried moss, I've gotten actual live moss on Etsy before. And so I know that there are plenty of listings of dry moss as well. So if you like are committed to just go all in, that is also an option. But again, for me, the kit made it super easy to just try this out as a new project. So yeah, so I can go ahead and get started here. I'm trying to keep this sort of above the chat. But as you join, feel free to chat in, say hi, and give me some ideas of what to do. But my plan right now is to basically arrange stuff how I want it, and then we're going to glue it down. So we have, and I'm gonna leave it, like I'm gonna build it in the frame itself to make sure I don't go on the outside, and just double checking that up is up. So checking the back of this, making sure that that is at the top. And obviously you could do it like whether you want it this way or upright. I want it in portrait versus landscape. So I'm going to go with the portrait and just triple checking that the back is at the top. And then let's go ahead and start pulling these guys out. So we've got this type here, which is some fun, like long little pieces. This one is more loose, which is interesting. So like, I don't know how we're going to glue that easily, but we will figure that out. Let me get this out the way, or not. I'm just gonna have to dump it. There we go. There. Then, oh, it's so soft. Oh, I wasn't expecting this at all. It's like mushy. It also, it has a full moss smell. I really wasn't expecting that. I haven't worked as much with preserved moss. There was one terrarium that I made that came with preserved moss, but otherwise I haven't actually worked, and like there was very little of it. So I haven't worked with it too much. So I wasn't expecting a smell, but apparently preserved moss has a fun plant smell to it. So I'm gonna keep, oh, that's like an interesting one. That's completely different. So I'm sort of sorting these into different piles. Maybe I can put them up here. That way you guys can also see them. Let's put that interesting little piece there. And then there are also like different tones. So you can see there are like different tones of green. So like this is a little darker than this one to give it a little bit of variety. But we've got this whole big chunk here of some kind of moss. Honestly, this does look like it's part of this. It's just missing, like, see, these pieces look similar. It's just missing more of the fluffy outside. Let's move that there. And then we've got this lighter stuff and like a bit fluffier, so that has a nice like cushioniness to it. I know there is cushion moss. This is not cushion moss. This is some other variety. And if you know more about moss, please let me know like what these mosses are, because I am winging it here. I am just going to make whatever looks pretty to me and not worry about like, oh, this type versus that type. I am just going for different textures, different colors. Let's just move all this to the side. It is very crumbly. Like there's all these little bits. So keep that in mind. You'll want to work on a surface that can easily be wiped off. Okay, now we're going to open the purples and pinks, which I'm so excited about. And this one has the fun flowers as well. And I'm excited for this because I feel like this, I'm going to like have it stick out and like raised. I think that would be really neat. So it has some fun, I don't know if you all can see that. Like fun little buds on the end of it. And there's this one. Some more little teeny little guys. It's so soft. Like I'm so surprised. I was expecting like crunchy, dry stuff, but this is actually super soft. And like the moss is super squishy. So I think that's fun. And here's another one of that same flower. I'm like worried to touch it because I'm gonna squish it and destroy it, but they survived the trip. I mean, they survived getting sent here, so. Some more dried flowers. That one has all the petals, all flat. And here is a rogue petal. Well, I guess there are a couple rogue petals here. And now we have some purple moss. So this is like a light purple. I was so excited for this. Like I think this color combo is gonna be so pretty. But we've got, I think it's the same type as this green one, but just in a light purple color. And then similarly, we've got more of a light pink. Love that. It looks like coral. That's so fun. And then we've got more of a magenta, darker pink here. There we go. This one's much squishier. So I'm guessing this is a different type. Or maybe it was just squished. I don't know. Like it looks similar to the rest. It just feels very different. But it could be like this is like, there are a lot of the stems still intact and this one has not as intact stems. But there is that magenta. And then we've got the dark purple for some more color variety. So, love that. I love the pink and purple accents. I don't love all of this debris that is everywhere. And I'm worried like how this is all going to get glued together. So it seems like we have a lot of the same type of moss, just in different colors. And then we have this green one that is more spindly. But let's get this going. I don't really have a vision other than like I've seen some that have like a fun swirl pattern, or I guess not swirl, but like a wave pattern. I think that might be neat. Or just doing some random chunks. I don't know. Let's just see. I'm just going to start placing stuff and see how I like it. And these can be like torn apart or kept together. Let's grab a smaller piece of this and like shove that in the corner. And then maybe some of this pink. I'm gonna see if it like naturally will tear apart. I don't think that was naturally tearing apart. I think I did that. See, I don't know. I don't know if I should like break them. I'm like nervous to separate it. But I think that might be, oh, also I guess that's something to consider, like the different textures. So like there's the top of that is like all fluffy versus this, which is more like coral looking. I really like that. I think that would be really neat. So I might consider it just like cutting that some. Let's do it. We are committing. We are just gonna commit to this idea. So grabbing some scissors here, and I am going to cut this guy so that we can use this bottom piece. And the idea is I'm going to put glue on that side, and so that it kind of sticks out some further than the rest. Because that's what I want. And I think that's what makes a cool moss wall, is like the variety of A, texture, and B, the heights. So since this is a lot of the same texture within this set of moss, I want to help even that out. And, or I guess like not even that out, but like actually the opposite is, since it's all the same texture, I want to add variety by having it like tall and short and like flat in some areas. And so just give it a little bit of interest with height. So you can just put some there. Maybe add a little bit of this purple floof. Oh, this is fun. There's like this, almost looks like a little tree here. I'm gonna tear that off. You see that? So it has like the bottom part and then gets fluffier up top. That's fun. We can put that here. Maybe like, yeah, stick into each other. Have that stick out some. I might glue some to the frame itself. That might be neat. And then let's get some more of the dark moss. Bring that around. And maybe some of this guy. So similar thing with this one. It has a lot of that fun fluff. That I am going to, again, cut that off because I really like that. And again, if y'all have ideas for what to do here, let me know in the chat. I don't know if I love those like right next to each other like that, but I could do this. No, I don't like that. Maybe in the corner. A nice like puff ball in the corner there. And we can do maybe just some pink in there. I think if I just lay it out, I can then arrange it a little more. But if I have some kind of base, then I can adjust it accordingly. But I think I just need to put stuff, looks like a little broccoli. I think if I just put stuff down, that will be helpful. So if I put that, that kind of is similar pattern, which is fun. And I want more of this dark moss in here. Let's go with this guy. Tear that off. Yeah, I mean, there's really no wrong way to do this. And I think this is a fun activity to just, like, afternoon activity. I feel like also these have been like paint and sip night things, you know? So I think that would be a fun idea, is like have a bunch of friends over, like get a bunch of kits and then make them together. That would be fun. Maybe add some purple down here. And, like bunch it up so it's a little more condensed. Like put that around there. Something like that. How are we doing? I feel like this needs more. Just more stuff. Tear that off. And just, I'll put this here. And make it a little bit more fluffy there. I'm gonna hide that because that is odd with the stems sticking out. So I was going to go ahead and hide that. That's fun there. And I keep lifting it to see what it, honestly, like that already looks really cool. Let's pull that down. Hey, Brooklyn, welcome. Let's fluff that out. Ooh, I completely forgot about this guy. Okay, I'm not totally sure how to use this. And like, how am I supposed to glue this? That is the question. Because it's pretty scraggly. I'm trying to find like just if there is a single piece, how long that is. Okay, there we go. So there is a piece. I don't like, what? Where would that go? Like in here? I don't really know how to use this. Maybe just squeeze it in between. So let's see. Maybe if I crumble it a bit. Maybe the idea is like using a bunch at a time. But again, I don't really know like how it's gonna stay. So it's not like this is gonna be moved around a lot, you know, like hanging on a wall. Okay, then we're gonna move that. Let's see how that looks. Because at least that's adding a little bit more texture. And I kind of like, ooh, that's fun. Can y'all see that? Like the little bits sticking out? That's fun. I don't know if I like how that looks though. After all that. Like, it's just a weird placement. I don't know. Maybe somewhere in here? Maybe that's better. I'm going to take this out. Maybe put some in that corner up here. And then we still have the flowers, so that's something to consider. Okay, I think like clumping it up works. I think that is the key here. And let's pull this and try and clump that up. And I do like the stuff sticking out. That is fun. So that we have the fun spirals. And let's stick that in the corner there. Hey Hank, welcome. I'm doing good. How are you? We are making some moss wall art here. This is my first time making one of these. And so we are winging it as we go. But similar to most of my projects, it's just kind of go with the feels and see how we like it. Like, there's no wrong way to do this. Just what looks good to you. Is that broccoli? What's funny is I was just saying, there was like a piece, I don't know where it went, but a piece did look like broccoli. Like this one, kind of like from the back, does look like broccoli, but this is all moss. Yeah, it is not broccoli. It's all moss, and then there are some dried flowers that are off to the side here that I can move them here so y'all can see them. So we have some dried flowers to add as well. Oh, let's see. This has some fun height to it. So that's the key. I'm like trying to figure out how to add height while also some color variety so that it's not all like one note here. Honestly, this, I kind of want to add a floof up in here. Maybe if I squish this together and like tuck this in behind there. That could be fun. Because it looked like there was some stuff sticking out there. Like, see, even this corner. So I keep lifting it up to make sure that there aren't like gaps. So like right there, we can see that there are some gaps. So this is already looking pretty cute. Let's push that in. I wonder if I like snake this down. That could be fun. And connect those. So I had an idea originally of like doing the wavy pattern and mimicking that. I've completely gone rogue here. So that idea disappeared real fast. So I think for my first one, we are going to keep it simple and just place stuff where I think it looks neat. go ahead and slide that one in there. There you go. That's kind of fun. So I have more pink. Yeah, let's see if I can put some pink in here to get that to pop a little more. To push this more this way. And like lift this up. There we go. Squish this in here. I really like this. Like, this is so fluffy and fun right there. I am a fan of that one. So I like how I cut it. So that's a fun tip, is to just take a look at the pieces of moss and see the different textures that it can make, and if you can cut it in a way so that it provides more height. Like, that top part is so fluffy and fun. It's great. Okay, now we have our flowers. So let's see where we might be able to fit these in. The question is, do we want it to, and you don't have to use everything, of course. And like, do we want it to stand out? Like, this one's really bright, and I've sort of put pink everywhere. So I don't know if I'm even gonna use that guy. But this could be fun. Like, just tuck it in somewhere, maybe? Put it into this. Well, that's blocking that one, which is some nice height. Actually, I might swap these. Because that one is taller. So I might move this down and put this guy up here. And again, the plan is to just put everything kind of where I want it, and then we will go back and glue everything down. So for now, we are still just trying to figure out kind of where we want everything. And seeing how it all looks together, and see if we want to change anything. There's that. I really like these. I just don't know how to use them. Like, maybe just like along the side? Like something like that. Oh, that's kind of like upside down. So let's put that right side up so that we can see it. Like maybe hanging off the edge. That's fun. Okay, I like that. And then we have our little piece of this here. Just like tuck it in somewhere. Maybe some more down here. Again, if y'all have ideas, let me know in the chat. Give me like a quadrant. It would be like top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, middle. For ideas of where to put stuff. This guy got switched down. You can barely see it. There's some purple. So we have plenty of purple left. But maybe that's what we can do this with, is add some pink. So there's a little more pink there. We've got this little guy. Just make it more fluffy up there and just add more to it. Maybe move it down here. Oh, that's kind of nice. I kind of like that. Maybe check it behind. I seem to like the flowers along the edge. I don't know. Like, I can't. I am not good at deciding this. I really like this one, but I honestly don't know if I like these in there. I might save those for another project. Because I like this purple one, but I think it's, I don't know if it's the color. I don't like the vibrant, like how vibrant those are. So I'm thinking I like this a little more. But now the difficulty will be to glue it all down. So we get to do that fun adventure. But I like how this looks. I think that'll be really neat. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have it all laid out, we start gluing. So let's go bottom to the top. Why not? So let's get this guy. And they've provided glue in the kit. So we can just put glue all along the bottom here. And I might even put some on the sides. And we are just going to go bit by bit and glue it all down. So like I said, we're going to go along the bottom. And the idea is to just cover the whole thing in glue and just squish the pieces down to make sure everything stays. So I am quite pleased that they provide so much glue for this. That'll make it much easier. I was worried that this would be an issue, but there is so much glue here in this bottle that it should be fine. Though I will say the glue is very liquidy, which I was not expecting. So I am hoping that it will work. But I mean, you can always go in and just add more as necessary. But I'm liking this. I actually kind of like how that hangs off there. Though we do have our flowers that we wanted to put in as well. I don't know if I want that under it, maybe. Maybe we should go more up here? Maybe it'll be more up there. Okay. So this is, I'm gonna like glue on top of the moss just to make sure it doesn't fall forward. So it has a bit of a layer there. And then we're gonna add a little bit of glue on the frame just to make sure, again, that it doesn't fall forward as it's hung up. So we'll give that some there. And now, the trickier part is getting glue in here. Whoops, got glue on my finger. Awesome. Squish that down. And then some more down here. And I'm trying to get all the way to the bottom with the frame. And place this down. Another idea, I am like leaving everything in the frame, but another option could be to just take it, like carefully lift everything out and set it to the side so that you can then cover the whole thing in glue and then move everything back. But I am doing it this way. No rhyme or reason to it, but know that that is another option, is to take it all off and then move everything back and at least make the gluing part easier. If you're able to get this off and to the side, that would definitely be the way to go, I would say. I do not have confidence in myself to be able to do that successfully. So we are going piece by piece here, taking it off or lifting it up and then adding the glue. And again, I'm adding glue along the side to make sure it sticks against the side inside the frame. And then gluing that down piece by piece. So let's get that in there. Give it a bit of a fluff. I think I sort of turned that one around, so make sure it's facing the way you wanted it to face, where you intended it. And then we've got some of this got glued down already, but it's fine. Just moving along, adding piece by piece. And as I'm going, I'm like sort of seeing, I might do it after, but like this area, for example, is all sort of the same height. So I might squish pieces down further, and I'll probably like tuck some glue in and then squish it down just to give it, again, some more variety. Because I think that's really the key to making these moss art walls look cool and intriguing and have a little bit more visual appeal. So this one I want to keep really fluffy because that is bringing the height and variety to that area. And then this guy, I don't know what kind of moss that is, that is bringing the texture, like a fun different texture. So it's all about the different textures, the different heights, and then combining them to make a cool effect. So I'm going to do this pink one first before I do the green. I feel like green is going to be last. So I'm just dropping glue down everywhere. Letting the pink just sort of sit in there, fluffing it out again. And then over here with the purple, I think I'm going to put this on after because it's sort of going to get tucked into the moss. Whoop, well, that's just going to have glue on it, let's be honest. Or I mean moss. The glue is just going to have moss on it. Oh, I got unstuck from the side of that frame. Let's add a little bit more to make sure that doesn't fall off. Get that tucked in. And now the idea is this will go tucked in back here, maybe? No, we're gonna save that for the end. But now let's get, this is already glued down. I'm trying to think if, let's turn this around. So now we're working upside down here. There we go. I'm losing track of what I've already glued down. So this here, we've got some fluff. Keeping that real fluffy. And then this is all glued. This is not. Layering all that glue down there. And then this has some fun height to it, so let's keep that height. There we go. And this corner. There. I gotta say, for my first time doing some moss wall art, this is kind of neat. For completely winging it. Like, I didn't do that much rearranging. It is not a specific design or anything, but I still like, I mean, I like how all of them look, honestly. It's not like I prefer ones that have a clear, thought out design more than the ones that are a little more haphazard like this one. I think they're all so cool. And ultimately, the dream would be to have it actually living moss. I think that would be so cool. I just know I wouldn't have the patience to take care of it. Though, I mean, you could just have like a humidifier by it and just make sure you water it every now and then, but let's be honest, like, eventually I probably will make one, so stay tuned for that eventually, but it'll be a while. I have no immediate plans to make one like that. Now, did I glue this down? I did not. We've got the top part, but not this bottom part down here. Getting the signs of the frame. And again, this is just a picture frame. I am using a kit that I got on Etsy. So I reached out to an Etsy shop. Her name is Marina, and the shop name is Bespoken Gift, I think. I think that sounds right. And I've linked it there, and there are different sizes. So this is just the baby one. So this is a 5x7 in the black frame. But there are other ones. So there are like huge ones in different frames. There are hexagons. She does all different types of kit shapes, which is pretty cool. And you get to choose like what color of moss you want to do. So this one I chose green and pinks. So I requested specifically some fun pink accent because I love me some pink. And so it comes with the moss and the glue and the frame, and then some fun dried flowers that are over here that I'm still debating whether to use. I know I want to use this one, but I'm still debating with the other ones. But I'm using a kit because it makes it easy to see how I like it. Like, how do I like making moss wall art? Is it fun? Do I enjoy it? And that's what I love to do, is to just get a kit so that it is a low-cost way to test out a project. And so you don't have to invest in a ton of materials. Because I can see me just going crazy buying a whole bunch of moss. And then I'll be like, what do I do with all this moss if I don't like it? But I always go through fads. So, like crafting fads. So this is a good way for me to prevent just going all in on something and see if I like it, to then make more of them. Then I can go all in. That was like my whole thing with terrariums. And we've got more terrarium stuff coming up, but I went pretty hard on the terrarium things. And I have like a whole bunch of glass cases for terrariums. I keep buying more and more stuff. Like when I see a cool glass container, I'm like, oh my God, that would be such a cool terrarium. So I have tons of those, and it's been a hot minute since I've made my own terrarium. I've made terrarium kits. I have to post those, but I've got some fun cactus terrariums that I made with a kit. So those will be, I'll be sharing those as a short within the coming weeks as it grows. But yeah, the terrarium stuff, I got a whole bunch of terrarium stuff and then just kind of stopped. So I'll have to get back into that. But like these dried moss do work great for terrariums, as long as you're not like watering it, or it doesn't need like a ton of sun, because these don't do well with sun, because then the color will get bleached out. But for some terrariums where the plant does not need as much light, then using dried moss works great. And so I have a bunch of extra dried moss here from this kit that I'll be able to use for future projects, which is fun. I put glue everywhere that it was not needed, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off. I'm trying to get this stuck to the side here. Like I want it to have some height, but I still want it to, like, maybe this part will be there. If I can get this piece glued down right here, maybe I just have to hold it for a minute, then I will be able to get the height that I want. But I like how it looks like hanging off the frame, you know? Like it's popping out. And now the next question is, where will I put it? Because again, you don't want it to be in the sun because it'll bleach out the colors. So it can't be near a window. And for like a live terrarium, it's like a humid bathroom would be perfect, for example. But I'm gonna have to keep holding that. But for this, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just hang it up somewhere in my office / craft room. That might be neat. Because there are definitely walls that do not get sunlight. I really need to reorganize my whole office. I am not a good decorator at all, by any means. Like, I'm looking around, I'm like, what am I talking? Like, there's nothing on my walls. There is one photo, and then like diplomas and a whiteboard. That's it. And I guess if you count fish tanks, like I have 2 fish tanks. So that counts as a decoration, right? Hey, Brooklyn, welcome. Thanks. Yeah, I'm really liking how it's coming out. I think that is now, yeah. Nope, dang it. Like, it feels like it's sticky, but then I think there's just so much, like, springiness to this that the moment I let go of it, it is popping right off. This one's, like, staying down, though. Yeah, that one's glued down. I'm just now checking to see if there are any sections that still need glue. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, I might compress, so I'm just going through and compressing some areas to just give some height difference, and hopefully it will stay down in these areas. Let's pop that up. There we go. Because I really like how the difference in height makes it all kind of come together, you know? I think that is the key to a cool looking terrarium. And by terrarium, I mean moss wall art. Talking about terrariums, I'm down that path now. So this guy is not stuck. No, come on. Trying to do 2 glue sections at once. Yeah, this is like a fun little kit. I think this one, the 5x7, it's like $30 and includes everything. There were gloves. I don't really see the need to use gloves. I'm just going to assume that this is like a non-toxic glue and just like basic, like clear PVA. I don't know if that's actually the case, but I'm just going to assume it's a fine glue to use because it's also like very liquidy. Let's see if the instructions say anything or if it just says glue. Natural flowers frame. Yeah, it just says glue. So, gloves optional, we will say. Okay, I am giving up on that. Maybe if I like put a weight on it or something? Or it just needs to be tackier and then it'll stay, but it is really not wanting to stay. Good grief. Okay. Maybe if I glue it to the moss. What if I glue it here? If I add some glue to right here, I'm thinking I can push this back. And maybe that's the key, because it seems to be sticking to moss easily, but the frame, it just doesn't want to. There we go. Okay. And if we squish this down, so now this is where I'm going through and squishing things. I'm going to tuck this under because I don't love that. So we're going to squish it so that there are more flat parts and more parts that stick up. I don't love this, so I'm not going to rip this off. Let's just undo that and then glue this down. There we go. Okay. And I think my big issue is like knowing when to stop. So I guess that's also why I'm holding back. So we have our dried flowers as well that came with the kit, but I'm actually going to see if I want to use them or not. Now that we have this glued down, we can take a look and see. I think I want to squish this down more. So if I add glue just kind of around it, then as I push it down, it'll compress it so it's a little more flat. And I'm doing this because it's all the same kind of moss, like variety of moss. And so it doesn't have like cushion moss and other types of moss that have like different textures, different shapes, different densities. So I'm sort of recreating that feel by compressing some moss down and then leaving others like nice and fluffy, using the top of it versus the side. so that it gives some different visual interest and different height to it. Trying to get this over here. Maybe this like should have been shorter. You know what? I might cut this. No, I don't want to. Yes. Okay, we're just gonna cut this down. So I really like this fluffy top part, so I'm just gonna cut this so it is shorter. And then we are going to add glue to the bottom of it and then stick it straight up. And that will give it the look I'm going for. And I'm actually gonna add glue to the side wall of the frame so that it sticks a little better and holds in place better. There we go. That was more of the feel I was going for. Okay. Now we've got some fluff there. This is gonna fall right off. So let's add a little more glue. I don't even think that's glued down at all. So let's add some there. And I'm liking how fluffy this is. And then that pink we can keep down. And this guy, I'm trying to get it a little more up. We might add some underneath it. That's a thought. Okay, let's use that little piece that we cut off from the previous one, from this piece over here. And I'm just gonna add glue like all around it. And I am going to tuck it under this piece. So we're kind of hacking together some cushion moss type looking thing, just to like get it some nice like I don't know, like round bulbous type shape. That's what I'm trying to recreate here. And we are hacking our way through it by adding little bits, little scraps of other pieces of moss to sort of lift this up. There we go. And make it more of like a chubby little moss. There you go. Let's get that pink piece out of it, though. There we go. And fluff it up. There. And again, going through and compressing areas so that they are different heights. I might need to add some in there. Though this is where I wonder, like, so it came with some little flowers. So I'm curious, like, how would that look? How do we feel about flowers in here? I feel like it's too much pink. I know that's crazy because, like, I specifically requested pink and pink flowers, but it feels like a lot. So, like, that, you know, I feel like this is too bright. I don't know. I think we're gonna go with just some more green up in there. Maybe this one? This is kind of fun. That's a fun texture. Add that in there. Yeah, I like that. So we're just gonna add glue in that general area and tuck this under this light pink spot and let it kind of hang off there. I like these green swirlies. That's fun. Though they're not glued on very well here. So let's add a little more glue. I think these are just kind of a general glue in the general area of the moss. Now I'm debating whether I want that down or up. I think we're going down. So we could add probably a little more. No, I like that. was gonna say, I might even add more of the swirly stuff. And like have it pop out even more in the corner. So I don't know if that's like too much. See, this is where my editing eye, I feel like, fails me. And I had way too much. So if you have ideas of add or stop or what, I am all ears. No, I like that. Okay, I think that's reasonable. I don't think I'm going overboard. And it's like they include all this stuff. I'm like, I want to use it all. But I mean, if I don't use it, I just have extras for other projects, so it's not all that bad. There we go. Got some floofies. And if you know what kind of moss all of this is, please let me know, because I have no idea. I'm fluffing this pink area out. I feel like there's a little gap there. Maybe I can move that over some with some glue. Sort of put a drop there so you can push it over and sort of seal that area so it's not showing the picture frame background. But yeah, if you're just joining, I'm making some moss wall art in a little picture frame. So this is all dried moss that I'm using. And some of it has been dyed pink, some of it is like different tones of green. And for the most part, it is the same type of moss, but I'm sort of layering it and lifting up some areas so that they're higher. I'm using different sides of the moss, like this is the top of the moss, this is the side, to give different texture to the piece. But I am just going with the flow. There's really no like rhyme or reason to how I'm doing it. Other than this looks neat. That doesn't look neat anymore. I'm gonna fix that. That is my strategy here. And now I'm liking how it looks. I'm like, that's fine. I do have this. So this is where I was thinking, like adding this somewhere in here, maybe? Maybe up here. But then that's like giving a lot to this side. It's like too much stuff because I already have that going on. It's like this is the fun piece. Whoop! I don't know how to reconcile it. I could like tuck that in there. Maybe tuck it in here. But it like fades into the background. So I don't know. Maybe if I squish it in between these. What if I squish it under that? No, we don't like that. Now I just have that big gap there. Whoopsie doopsies. Whoops. It's fine. Just spread it out. We'll just spread the moss out a little more. Fill in that gap. No one will know. No one will know. It's fine. Maybe like up here? I mean, I can also cut it so it's not as big. That is an option. I can tuck it in there. Like it seems so fun. Like I really like this piece. I just don't know how to incorporate it. I'm like, what if I just tuck it in there? No, that's too much. Too much. I think it's too tall. I'm cutting it. I'm at least gonna cut this off and let's see if that helps, because clearly I'm not finding a spot for it with that on it. So let's see if there is a part that I like now that it is shorter. I guess I didn't like love how that looked, so maybe if I tuck this on top of it. That could be a thing. There's that. I wonder if this will work with it. Like, what if I do like a little, no, see, I don't like this color. I think that's the issue with these. I don't love, so it came with these as well. Like these other little dried flowers, but I don't love how that looks with everything else. Because I didn't use as much pink, and like these are a little more jarring, but this is like more muted and like fits with that color. So if I tuck it back here, whoop. Oh no, this stuff is coming off. I mean, I could just like tuck it in there. Maybe in here. That's kind of neat. Okay, that is definitely an option. That looks kind of neat. I wish it were more off to the side, but that is definitely an option. But now I'm wondering. See, I still like that, even though it's like covers that. I guess it just kind of adds like a little bit different color, a little bit different texture. But I guess it's like, I like how I did stuff taller, stuff shorter. So then I'm hesitant to add a whole other like textural component. I mean, I could put it at the bottom, could put it up here. Oh, that's kind of fun. Ooh, wait, maybe. I realized y'all can't even see that. There we go. If I tuck it in there, try and move this stuff around so that it's showing a little bit more. See, now I'm like, now there's like too much of this in here. Like squish it further down so it's not as far off the frame. Debating whether I even want it or not. That's sort of where I'm at. Do we add it? Do we not add it? Do we add it? Do we not add it? That is the question. Ooh, yeah, we're adding it. We're adding it. I am committing. The question is, how well will it get glued is the question. So let's try and add some glue in here. And I'm going to add glue to just kind of the general back of this. And I know some green stuff just got on there, so let's remove that. And let's try and slide this in here. And squish it down. So I'm going to push it under everything. And lift this up so it's a little more out. There. Oops. Maybe down. Okay. I'm liking that. Liking. Anyone? Because lichen and moss, you know? Just me? Cool. And there we're gonna push that down. Okay. I think we're looking good. I'm liking this. I honestly thought this would be a faster project, but I am kind of for it being longer. Because, like, sometimes, you know, like, you do a project and you're like, oh, that was only 20 minutes. Like, I wanted this to be a longer project and be more involved. But, I mean, what, like an hour been working on this? I mean, a little slowly and obviously, like, chatting with y'all, but... So I'd say it probably takes somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour. Though I kept fussing, so in theory, it could be like a 10-minute project. But if you're fussy like me, it is a lot longer. I'm like even questioning myself. I'm like, do I want purple there? No. I wish I had more of this pink. But I do not. I only have this. Maybe like cover that pink up? No, it's fine. I kind of want to like pop it out more. See, I'm like still fussing. See, I'm like, oh, I'm done. No, I'm still fussing. I am going to add more in here. I think I'm going to push some down in here so that there is a little bit more of a gap and you can actually see this pink moss. Yeah. So I'm going to add some glue to the back of that and push this down. There we go. And that'll give a little bit more of a gap there. And I am going to push this down as well. And so to compress it, I'm just adding glue between the layers of moss so that I can push it down. And there can be a little bit of distinction between these high and low parts. Hey, Olivia, welcome, welcome. Glad you were able to make it. So let's push that down. Yeah, I'm pretty much, I mean, I keep saying like I'm done, pretty much done. But then I keep fussing and finding new stuff that I want to change. So let's add a little bit more glue down there. That is more about just securing it because it looked like it was coming off some. And then shoving that over there. There we go. No, I'm like testing to see if that's gonna fall off, but no, it's just fluffy and fun. Maybe I'll glue it down here so it just doesn't completely fall off, but I think that part is just bouncy moss. There we go. Okay. Sweet. I'm liking that. How we feel about it. I am really liking the color combos. And here I can pin the kit again that I used. So I got it on Etsy. And it's also linked in the chat and in the description. But yeah, I mean, for my first moss wall art, I think that's pretty cute. And I love how they give the options for the flowers. That's neat. I mean, I didn't end up using them, so I guess we could take stock of what I didn't use. So I chopped a little bit of that flower off there. We've got our extra flowers here. And then I have some green moss, like a good chunk of the green moss here. Got a tiny little bit of pink and then a giant chunk of the purple. And then we have some stragglers of this green stuff. So I might try and like package these up into little baggies and see. I can use them for another project, perhaps, I'm thinking. Yeah, I like this. I think it'd be so cool to do a giant one. I mean, like, that's ultimately the dream. Whoops, I thought that was a little piece that was hanging off. It is not. But I think that would be so cool. So, like, this is just a 5x7 frame, but, like, imagine, like, a huge one, you know? Like, a whole wall. I think those are so cool. Like, the ones that just fill, like, I feel like they're in office buildings, but, like, fills a giant wall. That would be so cool. But this is pretty stinking cute. And now the question is, where do I hang it up? So we shall see. Thanks, S. Thanks, Olivia. Yeah, I like it. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to leave it. I think we are done with this guy. Coming up in future lives, I think I'm going to try and go. I have a bunch of projects that I want to do, so I know like later this week and over the weekend, I'm still trying to figure out like what days work best for people. It feels like today, like Tuesday, is more slow, so it doesn't seem like maybe Tuesday is the best day. But I'll try different days. I know it's easy for me generally on the weekends to go live. I'm just like cleaning this glue off so it doesn't get totally mucked up. But yeah, sometimes Sundays are good. Sometimes Saturdays work for me. But yeah, I'm going to just be trying different days and different times to see what works. Like I said, I have a bunch of projects coming up. I have a whole bunch of leather making kits that I'm excited about. So there's like this little bear keychain. That is probably going to be the next live so that we can make that together. And yeah, I've got more kits coming up. I'm really enjoying doing these kits on live. So I hope y'all like it too, because I'm gonna keep doing it because it's fun to do kits and like hang out with y'all, chat with y'all. So yeah, more to come. But otherwise, thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, subscribe so you get notified next time I do one. This one I actually planned, so yay me. But I generally forget to actually plan ahead, and it honestly is easier for me to just like click the live button. So that way I'll at least get notified when I do go live next. Like even today, I was like, dang it, I wish I should have like had just pressed the live button because I was ready like 2 hours ago and then I had to wait. But I didn't want y'all to miss it if you had signed up for it. So yeah, so stay tuned. Link, as always, in the description and in the chat for this specific kit. But otherwise, I will see y'all at the next one. Thanks. Take care.